What's up, everybody? It is Famos Amos, and I've learned from my mistakes. We are in gallery mode here instead of speaker view. So none of that switching going on in episode 1. But right now, it is Creatives in Quarantine episode 2, and we are here with my homie, Wundr Music. Say hello.
What's up, guys? What's up?
Wundr is from Glendora, right?
I'm actually from Fontana, California.
Oh shoot, okay. Well,
Yeah,
we met in Glendora for
yeah.
the One Up by Traveling. It was one of the concerts they hosted there. If you guys don't know, One Up by Traveling is a shop off of Route 66 across from the Donut Man, Best Donuts. Am I right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Best Donuts.
Really good.
And yeah, I met him at a show over there, and we've been in contact ever since. And I asked him to do this video because he has a new project coming out called Collection Number 1. Right?
Yeah.
It's tell me about that. Collection Number 1.
So collection number 1 is basically kind of just like a collection of songs. So I never really had the intention of making another album because I recently made an album back in like summertime around June or so. And I already got like this whole album done with like about 13 songs. So I was like, okay, I'm good for albums for a while. Like it's a lot of work, you know. But then I started just kind of making all types of different types of sounds and music, and I just developed like my own a more of a advanced style of mine. Because before I was more EDM and I was more like instrumentals and stuff. But then I started to get into more of singing and playing my guitar more, and so after like all this time went by, I had all these songs and I was like, crap, I don't even know. I don't want to just like release them as singles. So I was just kind of like, I'll just put another album out. So
Yeah.
that's where the collection number 1 kind of started, because it's just like a collection of songs that I really wanted to show everyone.
Okay. That's interesting. So my first question was, after listening to a sneak preview, I mean, by the time this episode's out, Collection Number 1 is out. You could go get it everywhere. You know, it comes out like from here. This is what day are we? I don't even know what
Tuesday.
We're on Tuesday. Like what the heck? But it comes out Friday, but like Thursday night in West Coast time.
Yeah.
But like I was privileged enough to get a sneak preview, 2 songs off the EP. And I noticed, like, right off the bat, live instrumentation, you know, you playing the guitar, organic sound, or, you know, I thought maybe at least the illusion of it if you weren't. But what are the types of things you look for in, you know, quality of, like, beats, certain instruments you, like, find, you know, better than others? Or I don't, you know, I'm not new to producing, but I've been doing it for only, like, 2 years or something like that.
You know? Yeah, for sure. I would say that I really do definitely like organic sounds, acoustic sounds. Like the guitar is one of my favorites for sure. Like the whole album, every song has the guitar in it. Because I never really used the guitar before, but I just started using it a bunch now. A lot of times too, I'll just get like random objects in my room, just kind of clink them together, find different sounds, or you know, try to find some nice Foley. And then if I look for like stuff online, I use like Splice. Like, do you use Splice?
Not really. I use like, I don't know. I try to find some like samples. I discovered like that. Well, I mean, it's on Instagram a lot. That new VST called like Arcade by Output.
Oh, I think I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like. It's really put together kind of already. So like, it kind of forces you to use like some of their melodies. But if you kind of like break from that, it's really cool.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I just found Splice a while back, and I don't know, I kind of just stuck to it. But they have some really crazy sounds on there, honestly. Like there's like people who will go camp out in the woods for like 10 days and just record random samples, and then you can just kind of use those, and it adds like such more dimension to your songs, you know. It gets like it almost is like ear candy. If you hear something that's a little bit more natural and organic, doesn't sound so like straight cut like electronic or pop, it's kind of pleasing to the ear. And so I'm always looking for sounds that are super different, you know, because a lot of times there's so many sounds that are constantly used in like every song nowadays, and so it's good to try to make your own sound, because honestly, when I started making my own samples is when my sound started to come out, because you can't really make a sound without kind of making like your own samples and stuff.
Mm.
But yeah, I guess I'm just always drawn to those natural sounds and something weird. If it's weird, it catches my ear.
Definitely.
Yeah,
That's like a go-to thing for like producers nowadays. Like you got to be weird. You got to be like simple but weird. But
definitely.
with your music, um, you know, you do sing and you do use your voice, but I think you communicate primarily through your music, like the beats and the I call them beats because I'm a rapper or whatever, but but
Can't
through
say,
your
yeah.
through your instrumentals, you know what I mean? Like through your instrumentals, you're telling the story. Can you like give me your favorite example of one of your songs that you think you conveyed your ideas the most clearly through instrumentals? You know what I mean?
Through instrumental,
Yeah.
like from the new album or like just in general.
In general, I mean, I thought your album Painted Picture was like super
Uh,
good.
Thank
And
you.
I thought Late Night was one of my favorites.
Oh
Late
yeah, from
Night
DC.
and
Yeah.
oh man, I forgot the title of it, but it has high school in it. What's that one
Oh,
called?
High School Hallways.
High School Hallways. That one's
Yeah.
really dude. But I just think that album has such a it paints a picture. Like the title really suits it. But
Yeah.
um, what's your personal favorite? That like personal favorite, one of your songs that illustrates something through solely like the instrumental.
Ooh. I'll stick with Painted Picture. So from that album, I honestly would say Big Bear is one that's like
Mm.
really nostalgic. I mean, the whole album's super nostalgic to me because it's basically based off of memories and just like experiences. But Big Bear was a special one for me because like I went there with my girlfriend about a year ago, and it was just honestly like so like just a pure fun time, and we were just kind of just chilling during the sunset in the forest. And like for me, I'm a big nature guy, so it's like that's my place. And so I don't know, everything there was just amazing because I've been to Big Bear since I was a little kid. Like I've grown up in Big Bear a lot of times camping, but like every time I go, there's just something special about it. And so that song really like captures what I felt in those moments. And sometimes it's hard to do that with the song, but if you just solely focus like on that memory, and just kind of just happens. So I feel like Big Bear was one that's really powerful to me, I would say. I mean, the whole album is pretty powerful because everything has like a story to it. Like High School Hallways, the one that you like is more of, it reminds me of like when I was in high school, I constantly had my headphones on. Like I was always listening to like I was always into EDM and
Definitely.
like
Yeah.
just all the SoundCloud people, because back then SoundCloud was like the super big
Mm.
thing. Billie Eilish was coming up, like all these different people were coming up, and I was just listening to that while everyone else was like listening to mainstream, which is fine, like it's sick, but I just remember I was always like zoned out in my headphones listening to all these artists. And I don't know, that's what High School Hallways was kind of for me and whatnot.
Mhm. All
But yeah.
right, dang. And you mentioned you were like a nature type guy, and I definitely noticed that from your reposts and everything, like on the story and everything. Like, talk to
Yeah.
me like about that. Like, how important do you think it is that we, you know, take care of like the planet and everything? Because I'm sure like, man, I don't, dang it, I should have thought of this question a little bit more before.
No, you're
But
good.
like, expound on your views on nature and preserving that type of stuff.
Yeah, so nature has a very big place in my heart because ever since I was little, I grew up in nature. Like I was even a Boy Scout for a while, so um, I was just always constantly in nature. Like even my family always took us on camping trips, and it just has like such a crazy feel for me. Like it's a lot of times people kind of like to think like they'll be like in their room alone, and they're like, that's my quiet place where I want to think. But for me, it's like I gotta go up to the mountains, or I gotta go take a hike real quick. Because for
Mm,
me it's like I think a lot of times we forget that we're still animals. We're living in nature, we
mm,
just built on it. And like I I tell people it's so important because I mean, without nature, we're dead. You know, we're not alive. We evolve
Mm,
around it. We're just, you know, we're very advanced, of course, but like, yeah, if like the air is not good, we're gonna start getting sick. We're gonna start getting cancer. You know, if there's lots of plastics going into the ocean, we're gonna consume that plastic because the fish eat it, and then we eat the fish. You know, and then when it comes to, for example, like climate change with the world heating up and stuff, it's causing a lot of damage to our food. You know, it's causing a lot of damage to our water supplies and stuff. So like when people kind of deny it, it's kind of naive because it's like we're all in a system. You know, like Lion King isn't joking. We're a circle of life. You know,
yeah.
and like if one thing if one thing, you know, goes wrong, it kind of messes up the whole cycle, you know.
Yeah.
And the scary thing is nowadays, like, there's so many things that are going wrong, and I won't get into it. There's just so much, but like, I just want to, you know, be able to tell people, to educate people on like what's really going on, because a lot of times it's hidden too. Like, there's not really a lot of information, but nowadays the good thing is there's starting to be a lot more information now, but I think it still needs to be like such a priority because, like I said, yeah, without it, we wouldn't be here, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And also on your Instagram, let me just pull up this man's Instagram real quick because it is insane how much attention is like, you know, put into this. So this is kind of it, right? I'll show you
Yeah.
like the top. This is it. And I love the fact that like because anybody could really do this 3 type of post thing, but you really have like a theme. And the cool part is like you had like a whole color scheme going and it was, you know, it worked everything. And then all of a sudden these white pictures collection 1 is coming out.
Yeah.
Like what type of mood are you trying to go for this, you know, EP?
So that was kind of funny. So yeah, I love color photos and like, you know, colors and stuff, but I also love like black and white because black and white is such like a strong message, you know. It's such a big contrast with each other. You know, if you
Yeah.
see black type on a white paper, it's like boom, it's right there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to really grab people's attention, you know, because especially nowadays, sometimes it's really hard to grab people's attention online. So you got to really like put your all into it or think about like how am I going to catch someone's attention, because we talked about it like yesterday. It's people's attention span is kind of like, you know, going down a lot. And
Yeah.
with those, like with the switch from color to black and white, I thought was pretty cool to catch people's attention because yeah, everyone's used
Mm-hmm.
to my color and stuff, but I guess like the message behind it would be, or actually I don't know, I kind of just did it because I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
But like my plan is to just have that black and white before it comes out, and then once it comes out, it's gonna be a pop of color again, and it's gonna like be like a whole picture of the album. I'm gonna do like 6 photos for the album, so it's gonna be like one huge
Okay.
square, and
Yeah.
then it's gonna I'm gonna start doing like the 3 posts where the same photo, like how I am doing now, but
Yeah.
with color now. So, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool to kind of switch up your social media and play around with it because honestly, it's really fun. You know, even if you're just doing it for yourself, like it's cool.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah.
I mean, you got to give me some tips on mine because mine be looking up. Like, honestly, I'll literally like stalk your feed for like 30 like seconds. Like,
Dang.
wait, this is cool. Like, I'll scroll
Hey,
like to the bottom and everything. But
I appreciate that. Yeah.
yeah,
Honestly, one tip for that is start to learn like Photoshop and Lightroom, because learning like all those types of programs, you're able to be a well-rounded like artist, and you don't have to ask people like, hey, can you do this artwork, or hey, can you do this? Like you can just be like,
mm,
hey, I'm gonna make it right here right now, you know, because all that art on there is I do all of it. And like sometimes I'll have people, but most of the time it's mostly mine, you know.
yeah, that's amazing. How like because I just started producing my own stuff. Like my EPs, like I'd say like 75% produced by me, like one that hasn't come out yet. But how does it feel like for you to be able to do it like all by yourself, your vision only, like zero in, this is what I like, this is what I want?
It's honestly so it feels very free, you know, because I can kind of just do what I want, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like even my girlfriend, like we'll go take photos and she takes photos of me too. Like a lot of the photos now are from her, but like, yeah, I can just be like, hey, let's go take photos today, you know? I don't have to schedule it, or like, hey, I want to make like a cover today, or hey, I just want to make like a design, you know?
Mm.
And it just feels, yeah, it's just very freeing. It just feels like I can just do what I need to do. I can get my vision out quickly, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's best for everyone because some people really do like to hire people, which is sick, you know? That's why we have graphic designers. That's why we have different styles, you know, because you have to hire someone you think that's gonna embrace you the most, you know, which is sick.
Definitely. Yeah,
Like
for sure.
definitely one day I want someone to help me with stuff because it is a lot of work, like to do the music, the photography, the editing and stuff. Like it gets overwhelming, but for as a for right now, it's very fun. I love it, and like I have a good time doing it.
Something to do during quarantine, right?
Yeah, and then also one thing too is that I always say this too is that when you have different hobbies or things that you like to do, it's easier to balance out like your moods or like how you're feeling. Because sometimes you know you'll be doing music and you love music, but you're just gonna have an off day. You know, it's
Yeah, for sure.
inevitable. You know, you have a writer's block for like weeks on end. You know, and if you have nothing else to do, it's like you know you feel really down about yourself. But we're honestly all capable of so much. So if you're able to like be like, hey, I can't do music right now, so let me just start designing for this time, and then one day like, oh hey, I'm gonna do music now, and then music just like clicks for you now, you know. And
Mm.
so I think it's good to kind of balance your different moods and I guess hobbies and whatnot because it really helps in the long run, you know.
Definitely. So we're gonna get into the lightning round of questions. It's gonna be, just simple questions about kind of quarantine since it's like the topical subject right now.
Yeah.
And so let's get into it. First answer that comes into your head, or if you want to think about it, whatever. We got time.
All right, I'll try my best.
So who do you miss most during quarantine that you can't see?
Ooh, I would say some of my best friends. I have friends up in Washington. I have a friend in South Carolina, and I miss them a lot because I can't hang out and go hiking.
Dang.
Yeah.
Feel that. What
Yeah.
activity did you not expect yourself to be doing that you enjoy now, given the
Ooh.
situation?
Ooh. I would say watching a lot more movies. I
Movies.
used to not watch that
Okay.
many movies. I love movies, but now I'm like every day. I'm like, what I gotta watch today?
All
I
right.
look
What
forward to it.
what was your most recent like movie that you like that was like whoa, like fire?
Ooh. Ooh, I watched the Lighthouse. That one
Mm.
was creepy. Cause I love like
Lighthouse.
me and my girlfriend love like really artsy movies, like really weird and stuff. And 824 is a crazy company,
Dude,
but
yes. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
but their movie Lighthouse was it was weird. But it was cool. Like the filming was super sick. I
Or
recommend it.
have you seen Mid 90s?
Yes, that was such
Dude,
a good
that
movie.
was filmed down the street from me, no lie.
Oh really?
Legit. Like
Dang,
it's so cool. Like, but yeah, that movie's amazing. A24, shout out
beautiful.
them.
Yeah, that's a
It's so cool.
beautiful movie.
All right. What is your go-to quarantine meal?
Ooh, dang, that's a good question. I would say breakfast is the most consistent, so I would say like eggs and bacon and like turkey bacon. Yeah,
Eggs and
eggs and
turkey
turkey
bacon.
bacon. Yeah, that's good.
Vibes. So, what is one lesson that you learned through this quarantine that you'll never forget when you get out?
Ooh, definitely appreciating the small things because I was talking about this with my girlfriend, my family, and like other people, but like our the world we live in now is so busy, especially if you live like in the IE or close to LA. You know, it's a very fast-paced lifestyle here, and sometimes we just forget to slow down and just enjoy like what we have. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
simple fact of just sitting down, like having a glass of wine, watching a movie is like so amazing, honestly. Like especially now, because you're just like, dang, like I don't really get to have these times, you know. So I would say
Yeah.
that's a big thing.
Huh. Definitely. What place do you miss going the most?
Ooh, I would have to say Washington, because my friend lives out
Washington.
there. Yeah, me and my girlfriend have
Oh,
been out there twice, and like I recommend going to Washington. It's beautiful. It's
dang.
amazing.
Yeah. I've been wanting to travel for real. Like I've only been two places, which is Arizona and Mexico. That's like the furthest
Mm,
I've been. Maybe like Fresno, but that's still like in-state kind of. But
yeah.
yeah, I like, and I've always wanted to travel like the U.S. I've never been like one to like want to go to like Europe and
Oh,
Japan.
really?
Like that's just me though. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. There's so much to see in the U.S. Even in California, there's tons to
yeah.
see. If you're in
Heck yeah.
California, you definitely have to visit Yosemite. Like that place is
Mm,
like a freaking dreamland, and it's only like 5-6 hours away from here. So it's
only no.
yeah, yeah, no. I
That's
know
crazy. Yeah.
for me, it's not bad because I
Yeah.
actually drove across. I drove from here, from like LA area to Colorado to watch Flume at Red
Dude.
Rocks, and that was a 2-day drive. That was crazy.
Sheesh, that's dope. I've always wanted to do. Once I get my car, I'm doing that. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go,
dude.
Wonder. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I know.
Let's
It's so
drive to Connecticut. I don't know.
seriously, right? So much
Yeah,
to
dude.
see. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So this has been episode 2 of Creatives in Quarantine. Wonder, thank you for jumping on this video call with me, taking the time. And what's
Of course,
coming out
thank you.
again that you should get, that everybody should order and buy?
Oh yeah, collection number 1. Also,
Collection number 1.
I'm gonna have 50 limited edition cassettes of it. Yeah, shout out to
Sheesh.
Curious Publishing for making that happen. That was cool.
Dude, that quality merch needs, that's something that the industry needs nowadays. That,
I know it's
you
kind of
know?
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. And hopefully too, I'm gonna be doing like a giveaway with a shirt and like a cassette, and have some more interviews coming up. So I'm just excited for everyone to hear stuff, and I'm excited to like spread my message and whatnot.
definitely. All right. This has been, episode 2, Creatives in Quarantine. Thank you, Wonder, for coming out.
Yeah, thank you.
See you guys later.
Later, guys.